Hi there, Michelle here. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at 10 Hoyas with small leaves that I'm just totally in love with. These are Hoyas. Most of them I have acquired fairly recently. Um, I did not always have small leaf Hoyas. For the most part, I did not get into them until a year or two ago, mainly because I was worried that I could not root them or that I would rot the stems and the roots just by overwatering them. But that has not turned out to be the way things are worked out to be. And I'm discovering my love for small leaf Hoyas. I did one of these videos maybe about a year ago, but in that video, I only had so few small leaf Hoyas that I could only pick 5 that I wanted to talk about. Today's video, I have 10. Uh, so they're quite a variety. Like I said, some of them are fairly new and some of them I've had for quite a while. You'll definitely be able to tell which is which. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets me know if I'm on the right track when I have these video ideas. You can let me know if this is something you'd rather see more of or something you'd rather not see more of. If you'd like to see other plant-related content such as this from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. That not only helps get you notifications of when I have new videos come out, but that also helps me get the word out to other corners of the plant YouTube universe, especially since I switched over my channel from @HeronFam to @HeronFam1. Like I said, I did that because YouTube and Google thought there were some weird things going on. I just decided rather than keep dealing with it for months on end, I would just go ahead and start a new channel. I don't think that's probably the easiest way to deal with the situation, but I got frustrated and that just was the way I chose to deal with it. If you'd like to add anything to the conversation, please put it in the comment section below. I do like to interact with my comment section, so I will go ahead and get back to you. And now on to the small leaf Hoyas. The first Hoya I'm going to show you is not actually a Hoya. And we're going to have this happen a couple of times. And this is not a Hoya, this is actually a Dischidia. And this is the Dischidia hirsuta. And I really like this one. This started off as a very small plant, just a few leaves. But what I did was I put it in a large 5-inch self-watering pot and shingled it onto the surface to get it to root in place. Now that it has done that, I can go ahead and see if it will focus more on growing. This actually did shingle up the back of my cabinet, my Millsbow cabinet. It was attached onto the pegboard on the back. I did have to remove it from that, so it's probably a little unhappy with me from that. But it does have some nice looking leaves. They are very thick, uh, and they have a lot of water retention in them, so they're very healthy leaves. They have little dimples on them. They're like another Hoya I'm going to show you here in a little bit. So I may go ahead and show you a comparison of them. But for now, the first Hoya that I want to show you, the Hoya with small leaves, is actually a Dischidia, and this is the Dischidia hirsuta. The first Hoya that I'm going to show you is actually a Hoya I've had for a very long time now. I got this Hoya as just a small little cutting. This is the Hoya endauensis. This is a very beautiful little Hoya. It's got ruffled edges. It has grown quite large, but it can be a little difficult to get to stay growing. This can be prone to root rot. I have rotted the roots a couple of times on this. This is a new pot of this Hoya. I did have to reroot it. So this is a fairly new repot, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks in this pot. This is in a combination of cocoa husk and a little bit of coarse perlite and a little bit of bark with a little bit of soil thrown in there, just enough to bind it all together. These leaves are very ruffled. They're very beautiful. The leaves themselves are very thick. This is not a fast growing Hoya. This is pretty slow growing. Whoops. Here's a piece of the perlite so get the idea of the size. These are new. This has got the tiniest little leaf on it, if you can see that. But it is a really beautiful Hoya. This is a very similar one to the Hoya. I think it's Kayakamara. I'll have to put it down on the screen. This is very similar to that. I don't know which one is easier to root and to grow. I have a feeling that this is supposed to be easier to grow, but I don't know if it is. I got this Hoya as a gift, as a cutting gift from a good plant friend, a very dear plant friend, and she said, you will love this plant if you can get it to root. And I have taken that advice. It is a lovely plant to grow when I can get it to root. The second Hoya is the Hoya endauensis. The third Hoya, I'm going to have to show you, I'm going to have to do a little elevator show. This is the Hoya engleriana. Now this is the subspecies Vietnam. This is the easier of the two cultivars to grow. This is a easier Hoya to grow, less prone to root rot. I got this as a couple of cuttings that were basically about this long each, maybe 2 or 3 cuttings that were about this long. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This one's broke. So I have to cut this off. Oh, it's bent, but not broken. But I will go ahead and take that cutting anyway. This one broke, so I will now take a cutting of this. But this has grown so much. It was 3 cuttings of about these size, these tall ones, but it has grown all of this since then. I've had this plant about a year, maybe a year and a half now. It is also in bark, cocoa husk, and chunky perlite. It has a little bit of roots outside the pot, but most of them are still in the self-watering pot. It has the cutest little elongated leaves. See if you can see that better. They are very cute. They are very hardy. I hardly ever lose a leaf off of this plant. This cutting getting damaged is the first time I've ever actually had anything happen to this cutting or this plant. So I will definitely go ahead and make a new plant out of that, get that propagating. And the third Hoya that I love that has small leaves is this species engleriana, this subspecies engleriana Vietnam. I think that's how you put it. If that's not, it'll be at the bottom of the screen. The next Hoya with small leaves that I like to show you is the carrii. Carrii is a little different as it is a suede or it's a very textured leaf that is, like I said, it's very similar to an anthurium leaf. It's very small. It's very suede-like. The appearance of the leaf. See if I can get you to see those leaves. To see how the sheen of the light hits it. I got this plant. This is my second carrii. Unfortunately, I did kill the first one. If I don't stop overwatering this one, I'm going to kill this one too, which I don't want to do. So I have to let up. This one's got a couple little roots over on this side of the pot. I think you can see one right there and maybe see some right there. So it does have roots, but they're very sensitive. They're very minimal. So I definitely have to get this rooted more. The last carrii I had, unfortunately, got root rot, and I lost the plant. I took cuttings, and the cuttings did not make it. This can be a very difficult one to grow, to root. I am not the best at thin stemmed Hoyas rooting them. You know, if I can't water root it or root it in pond, I mean, I kind of have trouble rooting it. But we will see, get this to grow a little bit, and then we will go ahead and see if we can propagate this and get this a little fuller. I'd love to get this on a trellis again, get this really going. It's, like I said, it's a beautiful Hoya. I love the sheen on it. I love the reflection of the light. And Hoya number 4 is the carrii. Hoya number 5 is a very new one for me. And this is the lacunosa tricolor Bruno. And you can't see it in this picture because I don't have an inner variegated lacunosa up here to show you. But this tricolor Bruno is very different than the lacunosa inner variegated. It really does, you definitely can see the difference in the 3 colors. It definitely does have a light green, a medium green, and a pale green. So I got this in a plant trade, and I cut it up into 2 cuttings to see if it would root, and it feels very rooted in so far. Yeah, those are rooted in, so I'm going to take those strawberry forks out. But look at those colors. Aren't those incredible? I mean, see if I can get that zoomed in for you. It's just now starting to grow new growth for me after rooting in, but it's just a beautiful Hoya. I have just the tiniest little bit of a growth point right there where my finger is. It has very stiff leaves. The leaves are very stiff in comparison to most other lacunosas. I can't wait till this grows larger. Lacunosas tend to grow fairly quickly. So I am looking forward to this. And Hoya number 5 of my favorite small leaf Hoyas is the lacunosa tricolor Bruno. Now we're on to some of my newer Hoya acquisitions. And this is the Hoya spectatissima. Is that how you, spectatissima? Spectatissima. I hope that's how you say it right. But this is what I have. I got a cutting with 3 nodes, and I took the cutting, I divided it into 1 cutting and 2 cuttings. And then I put it in this substrate. This is tree fern fiber and perlite. And let me go ahead and give it a little tug. Little tug. Wow, they feel rooted in. So that's really exciting. I hope to see them start to produce new growth really soon. This is a very exciting cutting, and one that I was really looking forward to getting because of the rarity and also the leaf shape. I'm looking forward to seeing this on a trellis, a little mini trellis. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing it grow longer, to see what a plant of a whole bunch of these leaves will look like. That should be very interesting. This next one is the species affinity serpens, or the Zhaoji 001. And as you can see, this one looks very similar to the serpens, but there are some major differences. And the major difference is this is actually smaller than the serpens. I have one, two, three. I have 4 nodes cut on this. So there's 5 nodes and there's 4 cuttings. So I cut them almost into single node cuttings with the exception of 1. So I think this is a beautiful plant. I've heard that this is easier to take care of than the serpens. I'm hoping that would be the case. I'm hoping that it grows faster. I'm hoping that it's not going to be so stringent on the humidity, even though I have it in a cabinet with 80% humidity. But anything that needs less humidity to grow is a positive in my book. So I'm pulling on the cuttings ever so slightly, and they're not tugging. I mean, they're not pulling out. So this is definitely rooted, at least somewhat. See if I see any roots. I don't see any roots, but that doesn't mean anything because these cuttings are so small. But I can't wait for this to grow and for me to have a pot of this, and then I'll be able to transfer it into something a little larger, a little bit more permanent. But the 6th Hoya of small leaf size that I'm really excited about having is the Affinity Serpens, the Zhaoji 001. We're getting close to the end. We only have 3 more to go, and it's getting to be the interesting ones. This is another Dischidia. This is a very beautiful one. This is one, I know this one isn't rooted yet, but this is the Dischidia ovata 1 stripe. I have the regular Dischidia ovata. It is out on a regular open air cabinet, low humidity don't need any extra humidity, but this one I have in a prop box right now. It is getting extra humidity to try and root. This is very beautiful. It is kind of a purplish brown. It's a brownish purple, kind of a mauve. It's got one light stripe down the center. It does not look like a Dischidia ovata. This is definitely its own animal. I have three cuttings in here, of which I hope will all take root. The cutting with the stem, I'm not for sure if it's going to take. I'm not for sure if that stem is going to survive, that you see. I'm not for sure if that's going to survive, but the leaves are doing good and that shouldn't have any problem surviving. So the 8th or the 7th small leaf Hoya that I'm really excited about is the Dischidia ovata one stripe. This is a plant that I got that is kind of a little funky guy. This is the Lima Splash or the Lima Silver. This is a little small leaf guy. He's got plenty of silver, plenty of splash. I did take a cutting from him. Unfortunately, that cutting got lost in the mail. I will probably take another cutting, but I just love how it looks. It grows so funky. Not really up for trellising quite yet, but it will. But you can see the beautiful silver on this Hoya. It's just beautiful. I did not know too much about this plant before I bought it. I think it reminds me of a mini bell, kind of, only with more splash or more silver. I really enjoy this. It's definitely well rooted in here. I need to put it in something a little larger. This little 1-inch cup gets really dried out really fast. And I want to put it on something with a little bit more of a trellis. But I got this plant about, a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. But I cut off the new growth, so you don't see any of that, but there should be new growth again. I just have to wait for it to happen. So the 8th plant or the 9th plant is this Lima Silver. And finally, the 10th and final plant. He's in this little cup. See if I can show you it. This is the Sarawak NOID. I don't know if I can get it in there so you can see it, but this has very textured leaves. And that is the feature on this. These leaves are super thick and they have, as I call it, abbage. They have very definite marks and indentions on the leaves that make it unique. This is a 2-node cutting. It's rooting in sphagnum moss right now. Feels pretty rooted, so I should probably try to get it out of here pretty soon. Oh yeah, it's rooted all the way. It's rooted all the way down at the bottom. So see, it's rooted that much. See if you could see. But so I need to take this out of the cup and give it a proper place to grow now that it is rooted in its cup. Now it's time to put it in a more permanent place. So that is all 10 of the small leafed Hoyas that I wanted to show you today. That's quite a selection. The last time I did a small leaf Hoyas like this, I only came up with 5. So I've really expanded on my collection since the last time I did a video like this. I really hope that I was able to show you some new Hoyas and a couple of Dischidias that maybe you didn't have before. Maybe put some on your wish list. Let me know in the comments section below, did you see any of these Hoyas that you'd want to put on your wish list? If so, what were they? If not, what small leaf Hoyas are on your wish list? Do you even have any? Are you a collector of small leaf Hoyas, or do you just like the big chunky guys? Let me know in the comments section below. I'd really love to hear from you. Thanks so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. I know you could spend your time in a lot of different places, so I'm honored you chose to spend a little bit of time with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.